looking at a couple different questions here. The first one is 25. It talks about that you have points at these locations, and it wants you to write the equation of your ellipse. So as we draw this ellipse, mine's really bad, but we can see that this has to be our major axis because it is longer, and then that means that under the y squared will be that it goes up 5. So 5 squared is 25. X squared then will be over 4 squared, which would be 16, and then it always equals 1. Because 0, 0 is the middle of both axes, we don't have any h and k movement up here. Now to answer the question, how do I solve for y? Really, it's just isolating this y term. So we're going to subtract my x term over. So I have 1 minus x squared over 16. I don't want the 25, so I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 25. So now I have y squared. Distributing in would be 25 minus 25x squared over 16. And then square rooting. The key thing is when you square root, you do get a plus or minus. So in your calculator, you have to type this in twice. 16, the positive version and the negative version in order to get the top and the bottom of your ellipse here. Okay. Next one was asked was 45, and how do I get this to find its vertex, focus, and eccentricity? This is one of the ones where we have to complete the square, and we have to complete the square for x and for y. So first, it's just an organizational setup. So collect your x's, collect your y's. I'm going to move my 23 by adding it to the other side. And so it's kind of like you have two completing the square problems. I'm going to complete it here and here as well, making sure that I keep it balanced on both sides. So that process, again, you can only do it when a is 1. So I'm going to have to factor 9 out of the top here. And 4 out of this one. Oops. Y squared plus 2. And I still have this part. Okay, now I can complete the square. So it's negative 2 divided by 2, which is negative 1 squared is 1. I'm going to finish this side. So I really added 9 right here. So I have to do plus 9. Oops. I don't know what I did. All right, let's try that. Plus 9 is what goes there. This one then, 2 divided by 2 squared gets a positive 1. And again, I really added 4 because of that part. So when I go to complete the square, this one is minus 1, because remember it's b over 2 goes here. I'd have 4y plus 1 squared. And then I have 13, so 36 here. Okay. So putting that all kind of in 1, remember we have to have 1 here. So I'm going to divide all 3 terms by 36. So this is x minus 1 squared all over, that would reduce to 4. And y plus 1 squared, that would be over 9, equals 1. So y is your bigger term. So this is going to be one of those, again, my very technical hamburger terms, because that is has longer axis. So that's a squared, that's b squared. Your center would be at 1, negative 1. And then, like we said, a is 3, b is 2. And you can use those then to find the other parts that you need.